through the front pages of our dailies. And as usual, we have our papers with us: The Guardian, The Nation, Vanguard, and of course the Punch newspaper. We're going to be looking through what we have and trying to flesh things out. And of course, we move on steadily by 8:40 onto Milan Focus, where we pick one particular story or one particular trend in the stories or trending stories to focus on, and then you get to be a part of the show. It's Milan 98.3 FM. It's Trends in the Papers. My name is Omobola Sandra. Stay with us.
Attention to the hustle and bustle of Lagos. Take a chill pill.
Oh baby, now the feel. Calm down. Let me go to Mozambique. Let me go to Mozambique.
On the beach, we have the perfect guide to your destination. Mayland 98.3 FM. The sound of Lagos.
Alright, welcome back. As I was saying, we are going to be looking through the trending stories on the front pages of our dailies this morning. So let's just get straight to it. I mentioned my name is Omobola Sandra, and of course joining me via the phone line I have Opeyemi Akinyode. Good morning, Opeyemi.
Good morning, Sandra. Good morning, Lagos.
Good morning. Thank you very much for joining in this morning. All right, so let's get straight to it. I'll start with the Punch newspaper, and the major headline coming from the Punch newspaper here is Wike others take anti-Atiku battle to Bauchi governor. All right, so there are riders to that. The G5 governors to meet Bala Mohammed today, and Atiku hosts governor in Abuja. So I'm sure Okwemi, we're following the story between Bala Mohammed and Atiku. Bala Mohammed saying that Atiku disrespected him, and also the fact that he feels that Atiku has some sort of, or harboring some sort of animosity against him for the fact that he contested against him at the primary elections in the People's Democratic Party. So that's between Bala Mohammed, governor of Bauchi, and Atiku. So the report now is saying that the G5 governors, of course, the G5 governors, the Makinde, Otom, Ikpeazu, Ugwuanyi, and Wike, are expected to meet Mohammed today in Bauchi, the capital of Benue. The capital of Bauchi. All right, and so what do you think? What do you see as regards this particular? Is there going to be an alliance, and do you see any? What do you think this alliance is going to mean for the People's Democratic Party presidential candidate?
Sandra, this is 2015 playing up all over again. And I don't know if it's good for democracy. I don't know where this script would eventually fall out to. But it's been very funny. I think since the completion of the PDP primaries, presidential primaries, there's been a lot of twists and conversation. There's been a lot of distractions. When a big election like this is coming, you would expect us to have issue-based campaign, like Voris talked about. You would expect us to have new conversation, things that Nigeria wants to hear, things that will change where we are right now, that will move us, fix the economy, things that would fix, education, things that will sort out our infrastructural challenges, and all of that. So this G5, G10, G35 conversation, it's just dividing the attention of Nigeria, because you ask yourself, how much of an opposition had PDP been in the last 7.5 years to this government? Have they failed as an opposition? Certainly yes. They made it clear that Nigerians probably don't even need any opposition anyways. You ask yourself, Do you need an opposition to tell you how much the price of dollar is in the market? Do you need an opposition to tell you that a bag of rice is about 42,000 naira now? Do you need an opposition to tell you that ASU was at home for 9 months and they are most likely going to go back home again? So it's always like, PDP are just being a shadow of itself. Or perhaps they were not prepared to be the opposition. Maybe they didn't think they were going to, get kicked out of ASU in 2015. So the whole 2015 conversation is playing out all over again. See, the rank of the G5 will still swell, and that's just the truth. A few other people will still be pulled out of this whole PDP conversation. But the truth is this, in whose interest? If the G5 becomes G6, in whose interest? They are certainly not going to form a political party at this point. They are certainly not going to present a presidential candidate amongst themselves at this point. It's certainly out of INEC's, calendar and all of that. So, in whose interest? Now, Bala Mohammed just realized that Atiku is abhorring issues against him. When did they conduct the PDP primaries? 1 month ago.
So apologies for cutting you, but the issue now is the fact that Bala Mohammed is saying that Atiku picked campaign coordinators from his state without consulting him. So that's like it was a build up until this point now. Like what is happening? It's like he's being sidelined. But despite the fact that he is also a vice chairman or the vice chairman of the Atiku campaign council.
Did you watch Governor Tom's video? The one he did in Makodite before yesterday. The video
said some very colorful words.
Exactly, where he stereotypes the Fulanis and all of that. So
yes.
All of these accused politicians are beginning to have reasons why to want to leave. See, the concern is very clear on the reasons or the reason why you may leave a political party. When there's been fighting in that party, that's like the biggest excuse for you to leave. So now ask yourself again, what is Seyi Makinde's issue? Is it still about Southern agenda? What is Wike's issue? Is it still about Southern agenda? What is Gabriel Otom's issue? Is it still about the Southern agenda? So these are the questions we need to ask ourselves. Even governments are not plus or minus in their state are zero. They are forming G6 and G5. They are beginning to become a voice of opposition within the opposition. Recall when the new PDP conversation started in 2014, when we had some governors left the PDP, stayed on their own. Then after a while, they decided to align with the formation of the ACN, ABGA, CPC that gave us APC. So that's why I said at the start that the same script is playing out all over again. Everybody is becoming aggrieved because you want to have a reason to leave. You want to have a reason to pull out. Let me ask you, Sandra, let me ask Nigerians today, is the conversation going the right way when it comes to this election? Have we really started asking ourselves the right questions? Has Atiku Abubakar, beyond giving us a policy paper, has he been able to convince people on the street that the PDP is ready to take over? So these are my concerns. I'm not interested in who becomes G6 or G5. It's kind of our selfish interest. If one of those G5 or G6 governors can come out and say we are fighting for the interests of our people,
all right,
none of them. I will tell you this emphatically, none of them. The same script that Wike is fighting for. What is happening in Rivers State? The immediate past governor of the state, Rotimi Amaechi and Wike, they are from the same zone. The current PDP state chairman, Honorable Felix Uvua, and the current PDP gubernatorial candidate, they are from the same River East senatorial district. So the same script that is playing out in Rivers is the same thing that
is fighting against in the PDP.
Have we seen the composition of the PDP campaign structure in Rivers State? Wike came out on TV to say that the campaign coordinator is just the figurehead, that is the one in charge. That don't think because you know so and so you approve for you, it's just the one in charge.
Alright.
So the same script that is playing out in Rivers is the same thing that Wike is fighting at the national level.
All right. Well, there's a whole lot of reports and stories as regards that particular one. Whether or not Bala Mohammed is going to join the ranks of Wiki and others, we'll find out later on, probably after the meeting. More details on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. Moving on now, we also have here: marketers seek upward review of petrol pump price, and the writer to that is NNPCL stock down by 5.48 million liters amid scarcity. So the independent marketers of petrol have advocated the hike of the pump price of petrol from 169 naira per liter. I thought that there was already a hike. Private marketers were already private marketers were already selling at a certain price. There are some states in the country that are selling at 200. There are some states in the country that are selling at 250. At this time now, and they're arguing that that catapulting exchange rate has invalidated the current pricing template. Okay, and they actually admitted selling above the official pump price because they buy it above the ex-depot rate from the private depots. Okay, so now they're asking for probably an official statement or an official rate, okay, because the dollar has gone up, which we've been expecting. But then there had already been some sort of I don't know what to call it now, personal upward review of some filling stations were already paying at a certain rate. But I'm going to come now from NNPCL's stock down amid scarcity. What exactly could be the reason for NNPCL declaring that, we don't have as much as we should have at this time? So we understand where the upward review of pump price is coming from. Yes, okay, maybe we understand, maybe we get it, but what exactly is the situation with NNPCL and their stock going down?
Sandra, we are suffering and we don't deserve this. I remember a caller called yesterday during the session and he said Nigerians are destined to suffer, and I said no, we are just unfortunate to have bad leaders, and you've been consistent that way. When something that happened to you consistently, it becomes a part of you. The leadership structure we have in this country continues to play a bad role in how this economy develops. Let me ask you, do we even have any reason whatsoever to be in this place to start with? I'm talking about economy-wise. Do we have any reason to be in the first place? Sandra, there are states in this country that are selling petrol 275 naira per liter. It's not even the price. It is not even available. We spend so much time getting this commodity, something that is supposed to be available for everyone. Recall a few months ago when this scarcity first came up, the government said they have overstock in NNPC depot. They have hundreds of millions in stock. That is the independent marketers that are being selfish, and then the independent marketers came out to say that, that the cost of transporting has gone up, the cost of diesel that our tankers use has gone up, there's insecurity, our tankers are being hijacked, the drivers are being robbed, there's a lot of that. There's so much excuses, but I knew at that point that we are coming to this level. In the town hall meeting on Sunday, that we had it was supposed to have all of the presidential candidates of the political parties invited. But one of the things that Rabi Kwakwaso, the candidate of the New Nigerian People's Party, said was that at the end of the day, there's going to be subsidy removal. So if the subsidy goes off, then the government will come out and say, this is where we are as a people. But as long as we continue to be sincere, recall also that in 2014, one of the things that the then ACM, ABGA, CPT were using to campaign against the then PDP was that subsidy was a scam. That there's no subsidy. We don't know subsidy. And that you know how much billions of dollars we've spent on subsidy in the last 7.5 years. So you keep the government of President Muhammadu Buhari almost 36 months before they came out to say, yes, there's subsidy, we cannot remove the subsidy for now, and we make sure that when we want to remove it, we provide palliatives. Then COVID came and messed all of those plans up. And now COVID came again. You remember that in between COVID and after, we had 2 recessions as an economy. I don't know if you even come out of any of the 2, but then officially say we came out of the recession. So it's been a lot of problems. Now, if the fellow marketers say they are buying it at a very high rate, you can't blame them, Sandra. I'm not going to buy a liter or lift a liter from the depot at 200 and I'll still come and sell at 190 because I want to be patriotic. They go patriotism in business. You don't use emotion with pleasure. Everything is different. So it is how much they are buying that they would sell. So the problem again is how did we get to this point where non-state actors are determining what we get? How did we get to this point where government cannot regulate the prices of commodities? You know, now they privatize the NNPC. We don't have PPRA anymore. That's Petroleum Product Price Regulatory Agency. We don't have them anymore. So you have individuals at the mercy of where they lift these things. And the Nigerians are at their own mercy also, because if it's all I buy, that I will sell. If the product is not available, you would complain that it's scarce. And what funny thing about Nigerians is this. We have to adjust quickly. That's why I felt if this government has been sincere with subsidy removal since 2015, we have moved on by now.
Alright. Well,
the government has removed subsidies since then. 7.5 years, Sandra. Things would have been better than this.
More details as regards the upward marketers seeking an upward review of petrol pump price on page 4. They're arguing that if the landing cost of the landing cost is at 194, you don't expect them to sell expect them to sell at 169, which is the regulated pump price at the moment. So that's what they're seeking for, and we can get more details as said on page 4. Moving on now, still on the Nation newspaper, we'll move a little bit faster now. New Naira notes: banks get 52 billion Naira cash deposits in 2 weeks. Okay, so why bills, the writer to that, why bills redesign is desirable by Nasima. So that is on page 28, but as expected, I don't think we should be surprised by the large deposits that we have, that banks are seeing in the past 2 weeks, especially with the fact that the CBN themselves said that we have over 3 trillion excess cash out there. So I don't think it should be any form of surprise or any form of shock to the CBN or even to the Nigerian public that in 2 weeks they've been able to coop in over 50 billion naira into the bank. So what we have is that there are indications that the deposit may even increase further in the next few days, because it is suspected that 3 trillion cash was in circulation at the time the Apex Bank announced the policy. However, what we have now, aside from that, is the National Association of Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, that's NASIMA, has backed the Central Bank of Nigeria's decision to redesign the Naira, describing the move as desirable and long overdue. Okay, and what they're saying is, first, if this is injected back into the banking system, banks are supposed to give you a loan at a cheaper rate. I don't know how visible that is, but I'll just cheer for you to say something. But then second is also saying crime will reduce. All the agencies will be able to monitor it, and electronic transfer will work. And of course, they're saying that our economy will work better. We've already had a lot of conversation as regards this redesigning of the Naira note. If it is something that is the right timing, or if it's something that we should actually think about, if it will actually curb insecurity, if it would actually make people to have less cash with them, I don't know. But with Nasima also wading in now, what are your thoughts as regards the different reasons that they feel that this could actually work for the economy?
Well, to start with, I'm looking forward to the new roads. There is beautiful excitement that comes with when the currency is being changed. I remember when the polymer notes came into circulation, there was that excitement. What is it going to look like? A lot of people still want to have it. Some people will even have it and not spend it yet. I
remember the introduction of the 1,000 naira note some years ago too.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I've over time, I remember when this policy came out, the way Nigerians took it, it is not a priority for now, and we have a lot of problems, printing money to cost us money, this and that. Also put it in side by side the fact that we don't own the 100% rights to printing of our own currency. Maybe we should leave that conversation for another day. Recall that under the presidency of former President Olusegun Obasanjo, the Nigerian printing and minting press was privatized, and then we don't have a certain percentage on rights to print our money. That even is an aberration. But I'm not sure we are ready for that conversation today. I think we've also been able to establish the fact that printing the mineral note or redesigning the mineral note has come to stay. There's nothing we want to do about that. What those things are meant for is what is still confusing a lot of Nigerians. I've spoken to a few policy experts. I've had one or two economists come discuss this conversation. I've listened and watched on several platforms, and I think we all agree that we need to have mineral notes in circulation so that we can mop up all of the old notes that have been stored in safety tanks, in rooms with air condition, at underground circles because of election. You cannot deny the fact that politicians have loaded cash in their various places. You can't deny that fact. So what this does, I remember I spoke to someone I think last week, and he said this policy was long overdue, that we should have done it about a year ago. That the only thing that will put the pressure on the economy is that the time frame is really short. So then, one of the things we've also established is that the success of this policy is majorly dependent on the anti-graft agencies, ICPC, and EFCC. Because if these big money that are being brought to the banks, people should be monitored. It's not just coming out to say 3 governors are being monitored, 5 governors. List the governors that are being monitored. List the people that are coming to deposit this money. 56 billion have been returned according to the report. Who brought these monies?
Well, the CBN is claiming that some of the identified depositors were actually politicians, bureau de change operators, businessmen.
Why are we all listing like it's a secret court?
The only thing that can make banks to release names of anybody is a court order, and they have not.
It is not the bank.
So far,
I don't know that in the Nigerian constitution.
So far, nobody has done anything wrong in depositing money in their banks, in their bank accounts. So far.
But that's what you think. There was a raid in Abuja last week where about 60 bureau de change operators were arrested. It is second terrorism. You cannot tell me the arrest is unconnected with the new redesigning or mocking of the economy.
That's the raid. I totally flow with you, okay. But if we're talking about bank deposits right now, the only thing, there's the indemnity form that the bank has, and also the confidentiality clause that the banks also have as regards they would notify. But releasing names of people just because. Do you think that's necessary to the public? Do you think that's necessary?
I'm not saying the bank should release names.
Okay.
I mean, the bank should certainly work with the anti-graft agencies.
Okay.
That is the idea. Okay, we flag these accounts. So and so money had gone into these accounts. Maybe these accounts used to have like 2 million or 1 million once in 3 weeks. But in the last 2 weeks, about 10 million has been dropped into these accounts almost on daily basis. ICPC, EFCC, please handle these accounts. And the anti-graft agency will go and collect court injunction. And say, okay, Mr. Man, come over. See, for these things to work, Sandra, we must put our sentiments to one side and do the things that should be done properly. That is the simple truth. We've seen videos. Sandra, we've seen naira notes that were printed in 2003. We still know that they printed this 2005 minutes.
Mint, yeah. Mint. That means they've not been touched at all.
So where are these monies coming out from? 2003, 2005, 2007, minutes. Not even new untouched bodies. So where are these monies coming from? When was the last time we got mints at the banks? But go to parties in Lagos, go to parties in Abuja, people pack mints in bags and come to change and sell at parties. You give them 10,000 naira, they give you 6,000 naira. So you use 4,000 naira to collect new mints. But you will not get these new mints at the bank. So the question is this: where are these monies coming out from? That is what the anti-graft agencies are made to do. I'm not saying the bank should release the names of the people depositing this money, but the banker must align with the anti-graft agency for this policy to be successful.
All right.
Sandra, there's so much money in circulation at the wrong ends with the wrong people.
All right, more details of the new Naira notes and of course huge cash deposit and even more to come, whether we like it or not. They'll still be recording more huge cash deposits in the next few days to the launching of the redesign, and even till the final day, which is January 15, where the old designs would not be accepted or acceptable in public. All right, more details on page 28 of the Nation newspaper. Moving on now, we also have Ogun APC supporters walk for Tinubu, Shetima and Abiodun, and that is on page 6 of the Nation newspaper. We also have here 14 die in road accidents. That's on page 27. Also here, Police Affairs Minister, our allocation is too small, and that is on page 5 of the Nation. And what we have is we are also there are riders to that. So Police Affairs, NIDCOM, that's Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, EFCC, seek increased budgets for better performance. So the riders to that, our allocation too small for our mandate, says Minister. Daburi Erewa seeks amendments to Diaspora Commission Act.